getting some nice morning sun in the eyes. I'm getting ready to teach level 1 and have some other people join the open water session for training today. So I usually prepare all the things in advance, like the day before if possible. I have my soapy water bottle for my own wetsuit. I fixed my fin, which that completely broke in half for some reason and came off, and there was no more screw in it mid-dive one day. I needed to find some new sizes this morning. Oh! Hello, petite! You were under the van, I didn't even know. Where is she? Okay. So I pretty much prepare it all. There's 4 weight belts there. Yoga mats for the breathing sessions. I'm gonna use the yellow buoy today. There's all of the guest sweatsuit sizes. There's bins for all the wet stuff afterwards. There's also, I want to try this bigger bin for the wet stuff afterwards. That's new. Have my own wetsuits and my own mask and watch. I have their masks. I have extra weights. I have a bottom weight. I have an anchor and another bottom weight. Spare tire, of course. So yeah. I mean, look at this. Look at this sunrise. I love when I can get out and drink the last of my coffee in the sunrise. Cat, I hear you. Oh, I see your little reflective eyes. Come on out, sweets. No. Shh. I see you. Oh, she was so fast I couldn't even film her. I see you. Don't you do that in the van again. Or there will be no consequences, I'm sure, because you're so cute. Oh, this makes me so happy. I used to never be a morning person. Really not. But I realized it was just because I also used to not sleep enough. I even like hearing all the morning sounds like the roosters, and there's always some cool bit of fog over the volcano. Well, not always, but during the winter there's been a bit. So on a morning like this, when I'm getting ready to teach, I usually wake up really early, or what I consider really early, about 2 hours before the course. And if I'm teaching, I do drink a cup of coffee because I feel better that way, and I'm still feeling good and feeling sharp. And then I do some extra preparation like I am here. I take out old sizes from past students that I'm not using anymore. I've prepped the night before, but I'm just kind of making sure I have all the sizes, making sure I've kept the correct things. I also like to do a little bit of cleaning of the car and make sure that I have all of the paperwork that needs to be signed in the beginning of a level 1 course. Here you'll see also I'm gonna put the recycling in the van, which I'll do before I go teaching. Ideally, one day I would like to wake up and also do some yoga before teaching and have that in my everyday practice. But right now I just have yoga in general in my weekly practice a few times a week. I don't do it specifically right now before I teach. Also because I teach level 1 students a whole breathing section on how to properly breathe, and we do a small meditation, and then we practice that breathing, and then eventually that leads into practicing static breath holds. but that also feels like something that I do with them. I go on kind of the meditative journey with them, and I'm guiding them, so that helps us both prepare for the open water session. And teaching some stretching if I have time is also a bonus. It's more of a level 2 thing to teach how to stretch your body before diving, but I always think level 1s can benefit from that too. And if they are presented with the breathing and they ask a lot about stretching and yoga or how to increase lung capacity and flexibility, I will happily show them that too. What you doing? What you doing? You're jumpy this morning. What you doing? Are we playing hide and seek? Are we playing? Is it just me, or is it getting better? I don't know. I'm biased. Cheers. What's your plan? No, c'est pas pour toi. Ugh. You're sassy today. Oh, okay. So usually when I teach a course, I teach the theory in the morning, then we go for an open water session if the weather is good, because I think it's just more exciting for the student as well to do an open water session right after their theory. And then we take a break, and in the afternoon we do a pool session. Unless the weather isn't really working out the day that they want to start, then we'll do like the whole pool, both the pool sessions that day, or switch around the times, but which is also nice because they get to learn like the techniques in the pool. But I feel like some people like that better than others. Like some are really more eager to go in the ocean, of course, but I think it can also really help to do the pool sessions first, because then you kind of get your finning technique, you get used to all the equipment, stuff like that. And then the next day, if it's level 1, we do almost the same thing, except I wrote out the theory for the second day on my iPad, like in a kind of a flow chart thing, because I find it's a bit of a shorter session, and sometimes they don't always want to drive to where the shop that I teach at is, because we're also driving to the different dive spots, which aren't too far, but it's just nice to sometimes do that theory the second day on the beach, if it's a place where we can pay attention, or at the harbor, and I just do it from my iPad, like on some benches or on some yoga mats. Then we do another open water session, and if we haven't finished all the pool sessions, another pool session. So today we did have 4 people that were coming out on the buoy, but someone woke up a bit sick, so we have 3 people, and we're just going to about 15 meters first, and then I think I'm going to extend it to 20 based on the level of 2 of the people that are coming for just a training. So that means they've already finished the level 1 course somewhere else, and they just want to get experience training. Yeah. The cat is at the window of the bathroom. She's having a very active morning. Oh, it's starting to rain. Look at that big mama rain cloud. Yay, it's raining for real. It's all wet here. More like a fine mist, but it looks really cool. Rain is just so precious on this island because we basically live in dune. Have you settled down now? You're ready for your daily nap? How was your night? Who'd you see? What'd you do? Who'd you meet? The jellyfish found me right at the end as I was pulling up the rope to leave. Update on the hand. What's crazy is it's still burning. The inflammation's going down, but it's become these like white dots on top of all of the things that were inflamed. It was much more inflamed when I first came out of the water, like hard bumps. But it's crazy how much it's still burning. Like when I move my thumb, especially, it's like going halfway up my arm. Jellyfish are so powerful, it's crazy. And I've just gotten used to like a low level burning on this part of the skin, especially. Like, I don't know if you can tell how puffed up that is. Yeah, it's just constant. And even the tiniest thing on the other arm, so tiny, so innocent. No, it's like burning down my hand. Oh, jellyfish are crazy. So yeah, sometimes a day at work means that an invisible jellyfish blob stung you and you didn't even see it. The irony is I used to dive in the Mediterranean for the past 4 years or something, where every summer it was full of jellyfish with tentacles that you could see it. You could see them everywhere. And it almost became the safety diver's responsibility to kind of tell you or kind of get them out of the way or make sure there weren't any tentacles or jellyfish on the rope as you ascended. That's how many jellyfish there were. It became like you couldn't really relax unless you knew your safety was watching out for you for jellyfish. And I never once got stung in the Mediterranean during all that time I was diving there. And then I've been diving here for a few months at that, and this is the third time that I've gotten stung, but this is definitely the most serious time. And yeah, the nerve burning sensation lasted a few days afterwards, but no scarring, went away, and I just had to get out of the water with the students like normal and pretend, that my hand didn't feel like it was burning off, and I walked back up the hill with the gear and slowly got undressed. No problem. It was probably best that I just got used to the feeling while people were around me, so I couldn't really feel it. But yeah, my students that day were really great. We had a great session before that, and I just didn't see him coming. What you've actually been watching this whole time is what happens post-dive, where I take care of all of the rental gear. I'm rinsing the wetsuits all in a cleansing solution mixed with water. It's a special type of solution. And just making sure everything gets out in the sun, if possible, in the middle of the day, either before the second session in the pool or just in the late afternoon right when we finish so it can start drying. And that's my kind of routine. I rinse certain things with fresh water, like the masks and the watch and the buoy, and then I take out the rope a little bit to let it kind of dry out in the sun. Nothing's going to happen to it, but I just make sure it's organized. I double check everything and make sure it's all clean for the next day or the next week, whenever my next course is. I'm at the point in my teaching journey where I'm still really wanting to double check my own work and make sure I do the best job, the smoothest job that I can. And I think all teachers ultimately want that, whether they're newer at teaching or not, but I just think it's the way that I am. Like, I strive for the student never to see a mistake, and even if most teachers tell you like it will inevitably happen one day, I just want that day to be very, very far off. I'm enjoying teaching the courses so far, even though it gives me a certain amount of like anxious excitement the night before. But I feel absolutely confident once we get in the water, once I meet everyone. It always feels much better. I think many times I'm kind of cursing myself and my perfectionist tendencies when it comes to work, or my achievement-based mindset can really mess with me, and I look at the pitfalls of that a lot. But I think there can also be a lot of positive aspects of being that way, or I don't know if I was even naturally that way, but I learned to be that way, and I think it highlighted certain parts of my personality of wanting to achieve, wanting to do the best that I could, wanting to push myself always. And so it's not in a performance arena anymore like my other job was, but I still take teaching as a big responsibility, and I still want to achieve highly in this or whatever I end up going on to, whether I continue teaching for a long time or whether this is just an interim time in my life. And I'm fine with either way that might go, but I still want to really give my students something, because I was once them, and I had those people watching out for me or teaching me, and there's always like one or two coaches or mentors that lead you to where you ultimately go, whether you're going to push yourself in a direction or not. Another cool thing that happened in the beginning of January was my friends Chelsea and Cyril came to visit me. I used to room with Chelsea when we went on tour in the company that we both worked for at the time, and so naturally you become quite close with that person, and it was so nice to have their presence here in the island. They were on Chelsea's work vacation, but of course it also felt like a staycation for me too.
Very good. I could have gone all the way. I went up to here anyway.
The people don't know what you were doing. The people don't know.
That's good, because it happened very fast and it wasn't always
covered.
It was a big wave and then it was gone. I was like, it's still happening.
You're like, I can't go any further.
Very classy.
I didn't say, yeah.
He has a question.
He has a question. These are
K or J stuff, you know.
Yeah.
This because I tried several times and I think I found it when you explain it. And
Yeah.
after I tried several times and I couldn't find it. And yesterday I was like more like.
Were you, when you were trying to find it again, were you pinching your nose or not?
What?
Were you pinching to find it? Or were
find
you,
the key?
yeah. Or were you just practicing the sound in the throat? Like,
Yeah, I was not pinching my nose.
okay, so then you're not going to feel your ears if you're not pinching your nose, but you can find the sensation of, and keep your mouth, yeah.
Okay, everything.
So Chelsea can equalize and she's not trying to dive. Cyril's trying to equalize.
Oh, I don't like the sensation.
You don't?
You know, I have a weird thing with my ears in water.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
But your ears are too small.
No, but when I was going, there was not the thing to separate the breathing and the swallowing, so I got
Oh.
like pneumonia and this is full of liquid, and so since then, if I go forward or down into water, it's okay, but if I go back into water, my ears like freak out.
So you didn't have a glottis?
Yeah.
That thing in your throat?
No, that it was like whatever
That
in my
holds the
esophagus
air.
that, like, blocks the
Yes,
esophagus
yes.
when you breathe.
Oh my gosh.
We had been talking about equalization because Cyril had come diving with me and some other students the day before. But we also spent other free time just exploring the beaches, spending time in the lagoon, watching sunsets, you know. We had a fire at the house in the backyard, just really chill things.
Chelsea and her sunset.
It's really nice. It's really nice. It got better after the sun went down.
It always does.
I don't know what win it is, but I'm like trying to get this Las Vegas-y sign with the palm tree and the sunset. Get an artistic.
Hit it to win it.
I see, it's like gambling. That's
Yeah.
why I don't like anything.
You know, when you have friends from a previous time in your life and it just feels really good to be in the presence of their specific sense of humor. That's what it was like.
Like an algae that comes to Florida, but like under the water, but it has like this formation and these little bubbles there.
I know, doesn't it look like it could be coral almost?
We should plant net it. I'm gonna plant net it. Plant net! Finally can use plant net. This is not an advertisement. Philum Fontanesi. Latin name.
Fill up this whole bag of trash.
Japanese stuff.
This whole crab head.
You can see like 45 degrees lines.
It's beautiful. Wait, I can't see. Yeah, there we go. Whoa. Yeah, show me the inside of that crab head again. This is our lot of treasure.
This one is multicolored, super cool.
But the inside is
The
like...
inside's amazing.
Wait, let's see. Yeah.
It looks like the Alhambra. You know how they would like design it to the ceiling?
Yeah, you're right. What is your first impression of the North Shore?
It's my favorite place on the island so far.
It's very beautiful, very windy, a lot of water, a lot of sun, a lot of land.
A lot of people.
That is an island. A lot of water. Whoa! Look behind you. It's really big.
Sorry for the continual wind noise. I didn't think that through very well, and I just wanted to film on the fly with my phone sometimes. But time went by way too fast with Chelsea and Cyril, and although it was so much fun, it felt so incredibly short. We had a really, really good time. I was happy they could experience the island for themselves, and although I think it's magical, I always wonder if it's just me or my experience, but they also said they felt it was quite a special place. So now it's a special place in all of our hearts, and I'm confident that we'll see each other sooner rather than later.
Weed. She'll be coming round the mountain. She's like Oregon Trail. This is coming straight for you. There she blows.
These shots were taken from the last morning. We actually got together right before the airport and went to go see the dunes. Although I joke that I live on dune because it's so dry and deserty and sandy and windy. It was actually a really calm day, and I did have to cut the audio because, you guessed it, the wind noise was out of control. But besides that, it was a really, really beautiful send-off. Here I just had to include Chelsea telling me a story and all of her hand and leg motions before we decided it would be fun to just sprint down the hill because we couldn't remember the last time we had sprinted anywhere. Both of us were very awkward about it. We're not meant to be runners, are we? To Chelsea and Cyril, if you end up watching this, you guys are such great friends, such warm and thoughtful people, both in your different ways. And you really brought vacation to me as well, vacation to my mind. I got to kind of experience again stories from work, a place that previously knew, and you got to experience part of my new life. It sounds kind of funny, but when I grew up, I always wanted to be the person that had an open home to anyone who wanted to come, and you're just starting to help me make that a reality. So, cheers to friendship and happy January, everyone.